Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes. Now, without further ado.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to... In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god?
What up, madness? You're the finale?
It
Alright.
seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It
so
would seem that
not.
there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. I will admit that I've been I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice!
Trial of the
This
god
time,
of justice, right?
I will
Shit.
protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine.
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very
It is
well.
so.
Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we
Quite
did do a
a
lot
bit.
of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rasula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than some—
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the—
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Much
Then,
appreciated,
I can guess Nervilette and
them
Floran's
bots
parts.
were so weird to figure out.
Prepared a stage.
I'm not.
And
There are a
made
few more
sure that
channels
the
I'm gonna
champion
add.
duelist
but
would be
the
immediately
general of
ready
it.
for a fight. Also, that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Almost done.
I
got the glider. Nice.
Would
you get in duos or solos?
Outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
Duels,
As
gotcha.
for you, traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
By a girl. Deal.
Oh?
Yes.
Is that so? Then I
They were
suppose
chill?
I must have missed
Noise?
my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is
Yep.
already set.
You are now
so
on
there's no
trial,
reason
Farina.
to disappoint the audience.
I would have
Let's
added,
see
but no.
this trial through to the very end.
Alright, it's like the final part of Fontaine, I think. I assume it's gonna be this, like a few cutscenes.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too. Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words,
Oh
we can
shit.
refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the... I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger.
Oh my god.
She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Nervilette, both child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Wow. That's a lot of info. That's a lot of stuff we
Prosecution
did.
and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh,
Trial
come
time.
on, nervy lads. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait.
Oh,
was that?
snap.
Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that?
Charge accepted.
Is she not an
Lady
Archon?
Farina,
I mean, in that painting, it didn't look like she was.
Lady Farina.
She
I plead
isn't.
not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I,
Who the hell is the
Thor,
Archon?
otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Or is she like...
Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Or is she like a,
I've never questioned her identity either. Sure,
like a
Lady Farina can
stage.
be super
I don't know.
irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I don't want to spoil.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and
Are
move
you
on.
on till 10 or
An
11
argument with
p.m.
near
my
impossible
time?
odds, huh?
So 9 your time.
You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then, and if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Yeah, but like... Nouvellette is like 500. Because if you want... Alright, so hit me up. Once I finish Fontaine, I am down. So probably like another half hour. I don't know how long to take. Though Nouvellette believe child business with Orchard's judgment scorpion and even free. I didn't know why. That's a good ass. I think that's a good answer.
Doesn't sound right.
Oh, damn. Okay. Third diplomatic meeting with the knave. She realized she had already called for not only she's actually afflicted with some sort of curse. Which would mean this. That makes sense. Send me a Discord message when you're down. Alright, bet.
Of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Who
That's
gave
a
you
curse.
that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Nouvellette sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina is
Paimon
actually
built like a
human?
pound cake.
Well, it
is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well,
Look at that,
don't
Farina.
start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been... Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't have control over it, cause it's. Look at that right there.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon,
True.
you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove
Also
yourself
true.
unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I
You
never
over there is
thought
just straight spitting
you'd
facts.
use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric,
Bad.
Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all
Yeah,
kinds of
that's a
excuses.
solid point.
Seems like she's
Kind of.
confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power.
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
Yeah, show your
Aren't you the
power,
Hydro
man.
Archon?
Over the Hydro.
Is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives.
Isn't that
Okay.
a huge stretch?
Yeah.
Yes,
No matter
yes
how
it
generous
is.
an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
She haven't? Yeah, she's just straight.
It seems like nobody's
She's
buying Farina's
trying to
excuse.
say
Hey, come now, everyone.
innocent.
Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too?
Ugh.
And then all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me
Tell
then,
the truth, Farina.
if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If
It could be
you have
Nouvellette,
no
but
evidence
I
of another
kinda doubt it.
Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, Then what grounds have you to say that I'm not?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can...
What evidence can prove that Farina is human? It's not. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't make too much sense if it was. Pushed back by Novelette's power, exactly. Why would she go so far? To have everyone believe her? Exactly. I don't think it's this one though.
That doesn't sound...
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. A murder case unfolded in the midst of William and its first comments as being yeah, but that doesn't mean she's human. Spontaneous can be. Where's O'Shea? Cannot involve many. This wouldn't make too much sense either. But it's like the only one that might make somewhat sense.
It's been established that all Fontainians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you
What does that mean,
insist on
Paimon?
claiming
Because I
to
don't
be
see
a
how
god
it's
and
gonna.
not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia,
Oh?
please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor...
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case.
Damn, that's true.
If you
Okay,
don't
that
dare
does
to
make
touch
it make more sense.
then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
She could try. I wouldn't. Wow, she's really...
Lady Farina,
dude,
this
just
test
admit
has been
guilt.
unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of
Oh, I
standard court
wouldn't.
proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Risk her life to people who believe
Well,
her.
of course
Yeah, I
you have to
just...
tell her that. But refusing to participate
This is a
basically
long
the
dialogue
same as
section.
confession of...
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... That's not...
Due to
Don't
the inherent
put
risk
your
of the
hand in
test,
there.
Lady Farina.
Oh,
Hey!
what? She's alive. Which could also mean she's not even from Fontaine.
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing—
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defense.
Siege? Win, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, may return to the
okay.
defendant's stand.
Oh wait, what did she just say? I didn't get dissolved!
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally however, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the up, we don't want anyone else to lose.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina, I can't.
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks. What happened just now didn't think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put...
Okay. She excuses. Like, come on, man.
Anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
No one believes her. Damn.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Alright. Final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone who's too stacked against her now.
Damn, she's destroyed. She really is.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty.
Damn. Well...
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Demon Hydra Archons weeping on her throne.
Well, what's wrong?
Innocent?
What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
Damn.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought they...
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an...
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice?
Yeah.
We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
She lied for 500 years. So...
You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only
It
is
did
Farina's
say Hydro
sentence overly
Archon, though.
excessive, the very point of our
She's a
trial
playable
today was
character, she
also
can't
to
die.
prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
Taking away the money.
But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
I don't know. Her crimes, I don't know about death,
Excuse me,
but
if
they
I
are
may interrupt.
severe.
Is
Fremine?
the trial still going?
Fremine, you finally
It
made
is
it.
kind of.
I assume.
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh.
It looks like it. So she's guilty of being Hydra.
I looked everywhere and finally found it
Maybe?
at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some but has the trial already concluded? Then...
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Okay.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, so when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates.
Okay.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that.
Whoa, which would mean
If Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process
that
can
they...
be reversed as well.
It has been reversed, Paimon. If they were originally Oceanids.
And the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Huh. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the first slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on.
That might have been just now, when she was crying on her throne.
But after...
Hydro Archon crime? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The stone slates in the ruin. That's not right. This doesn't seem right either. Yeah. Change on that. Maybe? Okay. Wait. No. Okay. Maybe this is just factual.
Perhaps what is about
Okay,
to take
so
place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervalet mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
Okay, that is correct. It shows sinking. Wait.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
So there are links showing prophecies of the history of the future. It's not that. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. One dude being big brain. Oh yeah, I just messed up. Soon. Temporarily. Then it would be. I mean, click child. Okay, so
the prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontainians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Okay. Now just you. Oh, which would be this.
From the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. And the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid.
Okay.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together...
Alright, we did that.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now, but then it feels like we're going to have to share some...
Let's hear them.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids.
True.
Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial. All of them...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin? was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years,
Sounds like it.
the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twist.
Yeah! Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea?
How does Frina fit in all this?
So wouldn't it be trying to show
Well, I'm
the image of the
questioning.
Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3, now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share
I
this
figured
truth
that
not
out.
only with
I don't know
you,
how she
but
fixes
with all
all
the
of
people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of Old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death? After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontaine.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience.
That makes sense.
When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the 3rd slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now.
Wow.
So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come. However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. This eruption is just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Just what is the true source of the... The evidence of verifies intrusion of the primordial sea into the fortune of Meripede is...
It was both dream and reality.
The final puzzle? Oh my, that was the simplest one. One of.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Wow. Oh shit. Good luck. I have ice, I can freeze him. Oh snap, Nouvelle holding him back. Oh, was holding him back. I take it back. Oh no. Oh shit. Who is this? Oh my, is this Child? Oh, Child got upgraded if this is him. I mean a massive upgrade. Is this Child? I think it is. No, what? That's what happened to Child. He's in a whole other dimension.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your...
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it is chosen to... That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stock. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for... And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the...
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac.
Seriously.
We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy?
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive.
That's not We've already done everything we can, and we even found we've come so
Am I forgetting someone?
You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is
I still think this child.
Indeed.
So
That's not how a grand performance should end.
the Nate?
Fight it to the end.
Are we forgetting her?
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
Rio, the Duke, right?
The prophecy. Yes. What has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
Or Farina.
You may view such things as the history of the future.
Is it Farina or Duke? Or either of them?
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Who would it be? I actually don't know. I think we did miss something. I just don't know what. Wait, was it? So it was Farina. Okay. It wasn't the Duke. Oh, snap. Neither of them. What?
What's happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
I don't even know who it is then. And it is... She's still sitting there. Wow.
No, I still need answers.
I'll shut up now. Oh. Oh, right. Who is that? Celestia?
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But...
Fusalo. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else. The heavenly principles.
Deceiving
what?
the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous. She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I...
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human. Anyway, so then I cursed her.
Yeah, anyway, I cursed her.
The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Damn. She has a toe ring. Bruh. Wow, Farina's been in so much pain and torment. She also has a toe ring on her foot. That is so funny, man. Bruh, why are you standing there? That's quite fun. Oh wow, I still haven't claimed shit for today. I guess I'll take stairs. My throat is seriously dry.
Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance
Names
and
up top.
nobility.
Ah. Bro's watching like my brother is. Bro. He is doing what is 1D fucking Hunter.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon.
Die.
Keep back.
Damn.
Hey, what?
A cry without echo. Wow. They're such sad things. Totally wrong.
I'll protect us. Wheel of life.
Alright, you're done.
Hey, what gives? The audience
Silence
is still
without
watching
end.
me, you know.
Wow.
Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Getting beat up. Jeez. Alright.
I'll protect us. Wheel
If I,
of life.
I could just one-shot these people. Be much faster battle. Hey. Oh, that was it? Huh. This is long? Yeah, it's been an hour. I don't think it will be this long. This is the finale. There's more. Yes. Scene 1 before a mirror, Farina. Action.
Farina. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous.
She's
Be
gonna
not
give a
afraid.
long ass speech.
I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How?
Mirror you, huh?
Mirror me. What?
The prophecy.
What prophecy? Oh, wait. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain.
Oh.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to
The first
turn
moment
things
you open your
around.
eyes, and this
It
is how
is
your
the
look
reason
is
I
out.
will tell you how to
Yeah.
save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to but if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? If there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other.
You truly are
Suffer?
the perfect human.
Yeah.
I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never... If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But
how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial? Huh. How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
Session speech, Farina. That explains why she would not give in, even when everything was against her. Yeah, that does explain that, definitely.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. And I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all.
Her voice sounds way different, as humble, so humble and kind. It does.
Into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine.
That's
the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the calm down, Farina. Think.
Oh, wow.
Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can...
And then... Yeah, there it is.
My people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim own... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self. Herein, you may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may
Not allowed to be yourself? Yeah.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is the scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and there is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed so long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese. So long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods!
She kept this up for 500 years.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House? Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Oh, I'm afraid that... All right. Deoteria, is it? How it...
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and...
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come.
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of,
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect all manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to count—
Really? Have they—
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the— The day is finally over. I haven't had a— but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of— maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved. Alright, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well—
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Farina, I've—
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near—
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed. I don't think I let anything slip today. I just don't know. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to—
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations.
And what a fine family yours is indeed.
500 years, right?
Joy to meet such a faithful believer.
Surely.
What is it? Good.
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. Really now? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god who's—
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of you.
Damn.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But with that, I have conducted so many investigations across the centuries. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act.
Streaming.
Farina, you don't have to although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing.
None. Okay.
Share that's impossible. It was fated right.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a He's right. I could confide, but if things don't play out as expected, no, Farina. But what if, Farina, you've worked so hard for so, is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom, if you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, think about it. Long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the Heavenly Prince, she did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine, it seems that trusting humanity...
I believe that I understand how your deception works. How would you build on this foundation to save the people?
Ah, good. Of course, the Eudex of Fontaine has pinpointed... I'm sure you've long sensed that...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard a human voice. It now seems that that person was you.
And then I became one with the Oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device, in truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratories take down the God of Justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been
Wow.
I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly... But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used.
Zoom the autokill, right?
The vast
Like, damn.
majority had to be accumulated.
It was all part of your plan then?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored with, but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent.
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon. No, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons.
She planned this a couple of years ago.
Once more.
All go planned, right?
And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years. is just so you can sacrifice.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased. Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of as Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea? And the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of... So, if the theft of the primordial seas... Then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and, in other words, existence was defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. At this point, we, whether it Udex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Udex, at last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a deep things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to...
She playing this too damn right? Like, damn.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Damn.
I, Udex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
He is quite strong. Wow. That was insane.
What just was that bright light some sort of misdirect?
But since we're all still alive and happy.
It's time to end this. We must meet. I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means. I now have the ability. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
Wow.
Traveler, now that the aura trees the root of the calamities befalling come with me, Traveler. The hour.
No, forget. This shit took 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. That's so insane. I thought this was like fighting time. Fighting would be pretty good right now. Fighting would be pretty good right now.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the
But my insufficient blade. Let's see if you don't die.
I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one, bro. But look at it. My insufficient blade will do nothing. I'm not close. Yes, do damage. Do like 5 damage. It's all good though. Wait. If I add some demon? Gone. I'll destroy the eye.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself.
Look at that. Doing a little bit of damage. Yup. Doing a little bit of damage. Oh my gosh. Also, this guy has some kill music. It does. Oh my. That music right there, the switch, incredible. I mean, that was pretty sick, if I do say so. I'm not liking the fighting though, because I'm getting my ass whooped.
Do not think. Seize the moment and use my power.
Use the power of what?
From within.
So do I need like hydro? What am I supposed to do here?
Still breathing.
No way it missed. Hopefully Razor King live. Not Razor, Gaming. Because I kind of need him alive. It's kind of necessary. So I guess for now, I'll just use Razor. He can tank. Yeah. Shattered. Let's go. What's gonna do? Oh. There's no way that was it. That just felt really easy. Oh wow. That was not it. That Fosa Lord. Wait, who is you? That better not be my sister. The 8 just threw child back. Oh, that's Skirk? Man, Skirk finna get it, bro. She is too child in there.
Cleanup. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would... Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point. But they bumped into one another earlier than I thought.
That power.
Paimon has an idea.
She's his master?
Earlier,
Wow.
she must be Child's master. It's just that he gave us the impression that she was less...
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use
So
of the
didn't give
planet's
much for
primordial
him?
waters
Yeah,
just to
that.
raise an all-devouring narwhal.
Them legs,
That
right?
kind
Like,
of power is
damn.
wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It
Yes,
eats
we-
too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that... All in all, it fails as a...
Miss Skirk?
The point being...
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed... So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's...
Oh, right. So you don't know him. His name is Sertologi.
That was someone's pet, right?
Huh.
Like, damn.
So master is insufficiently famous. How...
The foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about...
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine Doctor's part of the Hexen Circle. She's a...
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also... But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter.
Wait! Didn't you also mention
This is a deep lore. Yeah.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over.
Bro.
Not to worry. Focalor has...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Yeah, she's just been sitting there the whole time. You failed? Right, like, damn. I didn't think I was gonna fail like that.
Washed away.
Fontaine is no more. JK. She sure look like I feel that just a whole ass city underground. Oh? Oh, they live? But all this water. Navia, she's alive. Wait, she's alive. Wait, why are they alive? Hold on, what? Just a vast ocean. Oh? It rises. Oh my god. His ship.
All hands initiate emergency rescue.
His fucking ship is massive. Rescue everyone. Fucking go. Let's go, Duke. Came in clutch right when we needed him. What anime is this? Hell yeah, bro. I didn't think his boat was that big. I mean, I knew it was like decently sized, but damn. Shit's flying and everything.
Look, the water's receding.
It's going down, boy. The water's going down.
It's
miracle! Water's receding. We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Heck yeah, man. Scream it to the heavens. Well, actually don't. The heavens might get mad at you for that. So don't scream it to the heavens. But it was wrong. Gotta do some cleanup. But it was wrong.
Are you right? We're safe.
The prophecy was wrong.
Yes and no. Well, yes and no. I get it. You know what else is receding? Your hairline. I'm joking. It's so funny. I don't know what. But yes and no. The prophecy isn't. Oh, she's in the front page. Paper face.
Post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet old soil can still give birth to new blooms.
Oh shit, this is Charlotte's article.
Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. Skyship Winglet, boon or bane of the Fontaine research. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really?
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into this. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could.
Paimon's curious too!
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best.
Are you sure?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on.
So
Let's head to
ending
Poisson
it.
first, and then make a trip to.
Yeah, I'm like 5 minutes. Most likely leaving it for tomorrow. Yeah. Damn. I didn't think it would take so much time. To be entirely honest with you. What can I? The finale? Yeah, no. I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow. I guess. Let me claim my. So many primos. It's insane. Oh, level 30. Claim. Claim this for commissions. But yeah, I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. We have 4,000 primo jumps. We're almost there. Just gotta claim all this stuff. I have mail? More. Yeah, let me go to... Oh, shit. Okay, I can just teleport right here. Yeah. Probably just gonna leave it for tomorrow. Finish it then.
Add Astra at.
Then we'll be officially out of Fontaine. Oh. Why did it
Add Astra
take
at.
me?
Thank you for completing today.
Then we'll be officially out of Fontaine.
Add Astra.
125. Yeah, I have to do the essential quest. That's good though. I just have to now. How long until Banner leaves? Like 2 days. 2 days, 15 hours, yeah. And I'm trying to get enough for the 40 ball, as you know. I'm close. I'm like, cause I have 2 extra of those, which is 320. 320 plus 174 is 420, 490, 494, 494, 6. So I need another 306 primos, which is mad possible. Cause once I finish Fontaine, once I finish this, once I finish that, I get another blue coin, which is 160. Genshin making me good at math, bruh. But yeah, so that's funny. But yeah, it's like it's a decent amount. It's a decent amount. But I need 3.
Whether it takes me uphill, downhill, or out to the sticks, I get the goods from A to B. I'll even take them across the sea if
that makes it 90.
Don't worry, you're in safe hands.
I need 306 primos, which is actually possible if I just do the Abyss or some more quests. But that's actually very possible. And then we'll have to see if I even get Ganyu. It's very possible. 300 primos? I can do that. Alright. Good night, madness and death. I will see y'all tomorrow. Ending of Fontaine. See ya, man.